Lu do Magalu. She's the biggest virtual influencer in the world, and you probably never heard of her. She has 31 million followers, $17 million in predicted yearly earnings. She had brand deals with Adidas, Red Bull, Vogue, and many more. And she's not Japanese. She's not American. She's not a 19-year-old influencer. She's Brazilian. She's Lu do Magalu. Hi, I'm Suzy Loom. I'm a Brazilian VTuber who lives in the United States. Today we're going to be talking about the Brazilian mastermind, Lu do Magalu. She's a Gen X coded virtual influencer who works for a Brazilian brand. She works for this department store called Magazine Luiza. It's kind of like if HoloLive in America was attached to Walmart, which would make sense. They have the same light blue color. And while all the VTuber companies in the United States are dying, they're all in the red. Lu do Magalu is making millions for Magazine Luiza. So whether you're a fan of Little Michaela, or you like VTubers, or you're scared by these AI looking women, pay close attention because Lu is fascinating. I guess you could call her the real Brazilian Hatsune Miku. But really, Miku should be the one called Japanese Lu, because Lu existed 4 years before Miku's debut. Yeah, Lu has existed since 2003. Granted, at the time, she was more of a AI to help you purchase through their website, but nevertheless, she is the original digital influencer. Maybe she's less interesting, she's not a pop star, she's just a saleswoman who's very coded in her 40s, but she's really grown beyond the brand. In the 2019 Copa America, when Brazil was eliminated, she was seen crying. She showcases efforts to stay fit. She talks about relevant topics in Brazil. Not only is she a pioneer in marketing, showcasing to brands how they could have a real persona and be more relatable to audiences, she's also a fantastic influencer. So let's take a deeper look at Lu do Magalu. She was modeled after Luiza Trajano, the real founder of Magazine Luiza, which is one of the biggest retail chains in Brazil. But at that point, she was just a mindless AI. It was in 2009 that she started an iBlog TV campaign that's now lost media, that she really started to develop a personality. People still seem to think that she's AI, at least my parents thought before I told them that she wasn't. But she's had 2 different voice actresses, and she's much closer to a Kizuna Ai than she is to an AI influencer. She is truly a VTuber. One of the things she's done is she's dabbled in music in several ways. For instance, she was in a music video with Anitta, the biggest Brazilian celebrity. We probably can't show too much of the music videos because of copyright, but you guys can get a taste of it. She's incredibly mom-coded to me. And like Lil Michaela, who is also Brazilian, and we'll talk about that in a different video, she's giving her audience. The VTuber scene is very catered toward men. Meanwhile, Lu do Magalu is catered toward women in their 40s, 50s, which is honestly a more sustainable business plan. Because while most VTuber companies rely on donations, which is a business model that works in Japan but does not work in America, Lu do Magalu relies on sales from a store, which even in a recession will still keep going. It's interesting because most VTuber companies really push back on catering toward older audiences or women, but the most successful example of a VTuber right now is that. She might not be getting as many likes on social media, but she is converting her audience into money. And at the end of the day, that's what keeps a business going. Well, maybe she's trying a little bit to cater to younger people with her TikTok dance moves. She kind of looks like Liza Minnelli. That's her older model, I think, which was a little not the best. But Lu do Magalu literally has the same initials as Liza Minnelli. That was her old model. She has a new model from 2024, which is it's much cuter. She was also in a music video with DJ Alok when he covered the song Can't Get You Out of My Head. So I'm gonna sing this song while you watch a music video, even though I don't really know the song, so I don't get copyrighted, okay? And I have to sing poorly too, because if you sing too correctly, YouTube will copyright you, so okay. Can't get you out of my head, girl, you're the most 3D body I've ever wanted. I was shocked she was Brazilian at first because damn, she's the flattest Brazilian I've ever seen. She has a 3D model, but it's looking 2D. It is an interesting music video because it's giving her if Scarlett Johansson hadn't left Joaquin Phoenix at the end, which, sorry to spoil a 10-year-old movie, my bad. It's giving AI girlfriend through a microchip so you literally can't get her out of your head. It sounds amazing. No human will ever love me enough to fight for me like that. She was also in Brazilian Dancing with the Stars, and apparently they used a Fortnite technology, which I'm not totally sure what that means, to make her dance live. While she's not an idol, she is kind of every Brazilian woman. She looks well put together, is well dressed, can dance and hang. She doesn't look like a teenager, but she does look like an older woman who looks good for her age. And throughout the year, she's only looks better and better. She had a humongous glow up after 2009, and then another huge one in 2024. The one thing that's nice about Lu do Magalu is that unlike VTubers, she doesn't get creative burnout. She has a humongous team behind her, and she's been able to persist year after year after year in growing her brand. Whereas because of abusive practices in VTubing companies, most people graduate within 5 years, and people really suffer from creative burnout. You're doing everything by yourself, and there's this pressure to showcase yourself through your content. It really drains you. I know being an influencer is kind of life on easy mode on the outside, and I do agree with that to some extent, but also having, you know, been a manager and worked with a lot of people for many years, it really drains you faster than other jobs. And the fact that she's a voice actress rather than an influencer with an avatar probably really helps her longevity. If a video doesn't perform well, like 99% of her YouTube videos, it's not one person's fault. No one person feels like a failure. Your fault. No one person can't pay rent that month. It's a whole team. And that's probably given her the time to cook and become the idol she is now. It's interesting seeing her name now living in America because she does sound like Magalu. Like she's introducing her name, Lu, alongside her opinions on American politics. Like in a James Bond kind of way. Oh, hi, my name is Lu. Magalu. Which does make sense because she is the mascot of the Brazilian Walmart. So guns. But all jokes aside, I love her name. Lu do Magalu just rolls off the tongue. And it is cute that her name is Lu. Even though at first she was named after Luisa, the owner of Magazine Luiza, she's actually explained since that Lu is her full name, just like Susie is mine. Because if Susie was a nickname for Susan, my name would be really ugly and I would be embarrassed and probably go by my nickname online. Speaking of social media, her social media is fantastic, but it does not have insane engagement. If you look at her Twitter, it's a bunch of generic questions baiting comments. It is kind of Twitter one-on-one that you should be posting pictures there as well. But she's kind of missing the mark. So maybe they should consider hiring me. I'll say this in Portuguese so they can understand. Lu, me contrata aí pra fazer seus tweets, seus X's aí, porque dá pra melhorar pouquinho, tá? She's kind of Lil Miquela if she was a mom. She's clearly not getting social media entirely, but she's hot. But that's a testament to how smart their business strategy is. There are a lot of really big creators I've helped get sponsorships because they just don't know how to make money with their following. And there are a lot of smaller creators who really have it figured out. And whether Lu gets engagement in every single post, it doesn't matter because she's an iconic persona and it's converting into sales. So she's created a business model that allows her to not have every post pop off. I did want to briefly touch on her gaming influencer arc. If you look at her YouTube channel, there are so many gaming videos. I took a look at a couple of them to understand why they're not getting great numbers, and there are a couple of things that are a little weird. First of all, I don't want to see my mom play Valorant. Second of all, she understands way too much about these games. I don't know if the voiceover actress is actually a gamer or the team is giving her too much information. But if you're playing Valorant for the first time, you don't understand a team comp. She's almost too cool in the gaming videos for her persona. Well, I think it's amazing that her YouTube is so focused on gaming laptops and video game challenges and gaming reviews. It doesn't really match the character that's been created, and I think that might be part of why it hasn't performed amazingly. Look, I love to see Conan play video games as much as the next person, but maybe it doesn't quite work for Lu. So my pitch is it would make sense to maybe have her have a child. She had a Roblox Fortnite gaming son. It would just make so much more sense, or daughter, that they are walking us through through these things. Because she will cater to Gen X women, late millennials, and maybe there could be a younger figure, aka me, who caters to the 20-year-old, the 15-year-olds, the 30-year-old. The same way that VTuber orgs have multiple characters that each cater to a slightly different demographic. Lu could have a child that caters to a slightly different demographic, or even a niece. She really is a VTuber. She does music, she does gaming, she posts every day, and her voice actress, Adriana Chagas e Ali Teixeira, is not really connected to the character. Even though her name is out there, people know who she is, they see Lu as Lu and they see Adriana as Adriana. Outside of a couple mistakes with social media, Lu's biggest barrier is being in Brazil. That didn't sound right. It's just she hasn't really become popular outside of Brazil. For her goals of making money with Magazine Luiza, it makes sense. It's not an international business that I know of. But hopefully one day her legacy can be appreciated by more than just Brazilians. Though we are enough. She's the original Brazilian Hatsune Miku, the truest tag VTuber, and maybe, just maybe, the future of marketing and of the VTubing scene. She's not just a character. She's not just an influencer. She's Lu do Magalu.